The empty chair. When Jesus shows up, the weight of the world felt heavier than usual this morning. Another Sunday approaching, another sermon to write, another week of trying to mend broken hearts. Sometimes, I wonder if I'm even making a difference. Doubt, like a persistent weed, had taken root in my soul. I needed a quiet place, a moment to breathe before the storm of responsibilities crashed down again. So I found myself at that little coffee shop downtown, the one with the worn chairs and the aroma of hope brewing in every cup. I sat alone, nursing a lukewarm latte, lost in thought. Then he appeared. A man with kind eyes and a gentle smile, asking if the empty chair across from me was taken. He introduced himself simply as John. There was something familiar about him, something that put me at ease, yet I couldn't quite place it. We talked about everything and nothing. The weather, the news, the struggles of everyday life. But beneath the surface, there was a depth to his words. A wisdom that resonated deep within my spirit. He spoke of love, not as a fleeting emotion, but as a constant choice. He talked about forgiveness, not as a sign of weakness, but as a pathway to freedom. He shared stories of hope in the face of despair, of faith that moved mountains, of a love that never failed. His words were like water to a parched soul, quenching my thirst for meaning. I found myself opening up to him, sharing my doubts, my fears, my struggles with the ministry. He listened patiently, without judgment, offering words of encouragement and perspective. He spoke of seeing the divine in the mundane, of finding God in the ordinary moments of life. He reminded me that even in the darkest of times, God's light still shines. He told me that my calling wasn't about grand gestures or perfect sermons, but about loving people, about being present, about pointing them to the source of all hope. As he spoke, a sense of peace washed over me, a feeling I hadn't experienced in a long time. The weight on my shoulders seemed to lift, replaced by a renewed sense of purpose. Our conversation drew to a close. He smiled, a knowing smile, and said, "Remember, you are not alone. I am always with you." Then he stood up, and as he walked away, a realization dawned on me. It hit me with the force of a lightning bolt. It was him. It was Jesus. I looked around, but he was gone. Vanished as quickly as he had appeared. The empty chair remained, a silent witness to the miraculous encounter. How often do we miss him? How often do we fail to recognize Jesus in the faces of strangers, in the everyday moments of our lives? He is there, in the kindness of a neighbor, in the helping hand of a friend, in the words of encouragement from a loved one. He is there, waiting to be seen, waiting to be heard, waiting to fill the empty chairs in our lives. Let us pray. Dear Lord, open our eyes to see you in the world around us. Help us to recognize your presence in the ordinary moments of our lives. Give us the courage to share your love with others, to be a beacon of hope in a world filled with darkness. Fill the empty chairs in our hearts with your presence and guide us on the path of righteousness.
Open your heart. See Jesus in everyday moments.